Energy equals evolution. We understand that on this planet, we use the energy from the sun, so do all life forms, and able to evolve and sustain themselves. But on the spiritual journey, we're using a different form of energy to help our spiritual growth. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about this. So on this path, I've been introducing my clients to the idea of prana. Prana means energy. Prana means life force. Prana also can mean breath, because breath and energy are very much interlinked. And if you want proof of that, you're more than welcome to sign up to the breathing practice down below. You'll notice that you can use your breath to manipulate this prana, this energy, into a way that's really nice for our body and for our feeling sense, if this makes sense. There's also down below a free yoga that you can sign up for. That's new and that's exciting for me, and that's down below. There's a free community that you can sign up for as well. It's on Facebook. So sorry if you don't have Facebook. We're trying to find ways to make it more accessible to people, but right now it's just on Facebook. And you can find that down below as well. There's awakening coaching. There's an application form that you can fill out for free down below should you be interested in some coaching, some one-to-one private coaching. The coaching itself isn't free, but the application form is. Back to the video. Prana means energy, it means breath, it means life force. And this prana is the thing that will allow us into greater depths of awareness and greater depths into our spiritual journey. Prana is the thing that creates change inside of ourselves. For me, at the start of the journey, I always thought that I could judge myself into change. For example, I used to smoke a little bit of cigarettes and some marijuana. And I thought I'd be able to judge myself into changing that habit. Little did I know that didn't work. And by judging myself, I ended up exhausted, isn't it? We probably recognize this inside of ourselves. And so when we begin to see that judging myself into change doesn't work, we have to look for a new way, isn't it? And we know that when we do our sadhana, our daily spiritual practice to bring about the highest amount of intensity of energy in the system, when we do that every single day, we keep connecting and keep stoking up more and more prana, more and more energy in the system, and we can feel that inside of ourselves. And this is really our goal, because it's the energy that creates the change rather than the mind judging ourselves into change. We have an idea in yoga called a positive pranic choice, and that will mean making choices that are life-giving, meaning making positive choices for my energy. We can recognize inside of ourselves that food could be a positive pranic choice. If I eat better food, then I will feel better, isn't it? Some of you have probably noticed that my food choices haven't been so great lately, and therefore my cheeks get wider, and you see my whole journey, so can't hide away from it. And we're not here to be spiritual perfectionists, isn't it? You know, we're not here to judge one another for how spiritual they are based upon the size of their body or things like this, because I have noticed some people in the comments doing it. We recognize it's just an energy thing, isn't it? If I eat well, my energy's higher. We're not looking at this journey from a moral compass, from a moral standpoint. It's all about energy. If I eat that food that's not that great for me, if I eat carbs late at night, well, what's going to happen? I'm going to be at an energy deficit in the morning, and I'm going to wake up more tired than when I went to sleep. And I'm very much guilty of doing that. And we only have to do that for a few times, or a long time it can seem, isn't it? For some of us, me. We could do that for a long time before we realize, okay, this isn't really serving me anymore. I want to make a change based around my energy. If I wake up tired, then I can't be productive in some of my client calls or, things like this. And so we want to conserve our energy and make choices that are based around that. We can think of our energy or our prana as like a bank balance. And we can think about the physical bank balance, with money. If I make some good investments, then those investments continue to compound as the interest gets bigger and bigger and the money gets bigger and bigger. Well, we want to look at our energy like this. If I make some good energetic investments, then these things are working behind the scenes for me, like doing the yoga. That will make me feel good. That's how we know that prana's in the system and prana's doing the work, is that we feel it. we feel better, we feel lighter. It's almost like a subtle vibration that we're feeling that can, in essence, with the right decisions and the right pranic choices, become more juicy, more loving, more intense in its feeling. And perhaps then we might have the intuition that maybe I'm more this energy than I am this body. Of course, not really, because I'm here in this body. It's the way, the vehicle through which I can speak. But perhaps my natural essence is more energetic. Of course, we can make some negative pranic choices though too, isn't it? If we have that Chinese chow mein, for example, high salt food, guilty, then we'll find an energy deficit. What about coffee then? Coffee's kind of an interesting one because in a way, the prana at the start, drinking 1 cup of coffee, prana's definitely increased in the system, isn't it? But after a couple of hours, we crash. So is it a positive pranic or a positive negative choice? Well, that's for us to decide. Remember, it's not a moral thing. Some spiritual teachers will tell you to stop smoking, they might tell you that too. You don't have to do that either, because there was a great sage, I don't know whether it was Sri Siddhartha Maharaj, but he used to smoke cigarettes and he was completely enlightened. It's absolutely fine. And sometimes these enlightened ones hold on to these tendencies just to show the rest of us it's okay. We don't have to be really strict. We don't have to be that spiritual perfectionist, because if we are that, we just end up judging ourselves into oblivion and not creating any great change for ourselves and actually just exhausting our energy. That could be another negative pranic choice in the mind, isn't it? An internal pranic choice. If I speak to myself in a negative way, my energy is going to be drained. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to have to lay in bed for a week and watch Netflix because I haven't got any energy to do anything else. And that's, we recognize this in ourselves, isn't it? Alcohol's another one. A bit like caffeine. If you have 1 beer, prana's up. Lovely. But if you have any more than that, good luck. It begins to steadily decline, or maybe quite rapidly decline after that, isn't it? And so we're just making decisions around energy for our evolution. The more energy we have, the faster we evolve. And the more in alignment we feel with life. And so can we make more positive pranic choices, more energy choices in our life, so that we can use that energy for spiritual growth, for serving people, for serving the community that we're a part of? Comes to an idea called brahmacharya. That's what it means, brahmacharya, the right use and the conservation of one's energy. Then we can get onto ideas of sexual energy too. We won't go there because I've talked about it in a different video that I'll link above should you wish to have a look at it. But energy equals evolution. That next manifestation that we're so close to but that we want will only come when we have the prana inside of ourselves to get there. We set the intention to have this thing that we want, and then we get into our pranic work, our sadhana, so that we can cultivate that next best thing, that next manifestation for ourselves. But it all starts in here with the prana and that feeling energy that we're stoking up with our good yogic work. I hope this video helps. I'm sorry the quality wasn't as good. I don't have my camera filming it on the Mac, but I hope this was helpful, and have a lovely day. Namaste.